Do you know what happens between August and September every single year? It's like clockwork. Back to school starts, the weather shifts, schedules get tight, and motivation to pick up your guitar starts to go away. It drops really fast. I call it the seasonal slump. You probably felt it. You want to play, but the energy's just not there. You sit down with the guitar and you just don't have that spark, that feeling that you want to go ahead and learn something new or play something that makes you feel good. And suddenly everything else feels more urgent than you're practicing the guitar. Here's the truth. It's not your fault. This happens across the board to players all over the world at this time we're in right now. If you're listening to when this came out, your intention is being pulled in 100 different directions. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be in the slump. Here's what I recommend when you hit this wall. I call it emergency mode. Remove the guilt. Everyone goes through it this time of the year. I've talked to players in every corner of the world, and it's the same story. Schedules start to change. Life gets hectic. Practice slips. This is August going into September. This is back to school time. So even if you don't have kids that are in school, even if you're past that or you never had that at all, it's affecting the people around you. It's affecting how they do business. It's affecting everything. Right? People are in a hurry to get some things done before school starts, or they're preparing, and that's taking away from what you want to do. If you're beating yourself up about this, you're just wasting your energy. All that energy you could use, and you could use it actually moving forward. So what we're going to do is take a deep breath, and we're going to give ourselves permission to be human and flawed, and we're going to reset, because isn't that what we do? We move forward, then things stop working, and we reset again. So what we're going to do first is we're going to shrink the goals. If you are busy, if you're stuck, if you're not in the right frame of mind, enormous goals are just not going to work. We have to be realistic about this. When your motivation is low, right? Giant goals are the enemy. They stop you in your tracks. Saying, okay, I'm going to learn a full solo this week. You know it's not going to happen. You wish, right? You hope. But I'm trying to get rid of hope. I just want results. Okay? This is going to set you up to be frustrated and stopped. Instead, we're going to break it down to something very, very small. What if I play this one lick today? Or even, what if I pick up the guitar and strum it for 2 minutes? Small, winnable goals. They're going to give you the sense of accomplishment that you need in the middle of all this stuff that's going on. It's a little win that starts to build momentum, and it starts to build on its own exactly perfectly for what you're going through at the moment. So we want to schedule these little short bursts of moving forward. Here's the trap. When you wait for this magical block of free time that you think you're going to have when you're in the middle of emergency mode. You think Thursday, there's nothing going on. Let's say it's Sunday. Thursday, there's nothing going on. I'm going to block out some time for guitar playing. You think next Thursday you got an hour open? But when Thursday comes around, something else always happens. It's going to get filled. The gap is gone. So how do you deal with this when you're in those times where everything just vanishes? The fix is don't wait. Put 10 minutes on your calendar today. Or better yet, right after you finish getting home, put your stuff away when you get to work. 10 focused minutes will always do more for your playing than chasing that perfect practice session that never happens. The other thing I'd like for you to do is play some fun stuff. This is not the time to be grinding through scales that you don't care about or wrestling with material that's good for you, but it feels like homework at the time. That's for when your head can handle it, when your head space is stronger. Right now, you're in emergency mode, right? And you need to find that one riff, that one groove, that one lick that you just love to play, and the one that makes you smile as soon as you hear it, right? That joy is the fuel that's going to pull you through all of this problem and get you out of the slump. We're going to redefine momentum. what momentum means during this time and what's a win to you. Most players measure progress in giant leaps. I want to learn a whole solo. I want to master a whole new skill. I want to finish a whole song. But in a slump, those leaps are impossible sometimes. Instead, redefine what momentum means to you. Did you play that one lick today? Win, right? Did you practice for 5 minutes while dinner was in the oven, right? Win. Those tiny steps are still forward movement. And when you string them together, this slump that's been just bringing you down starts to lose its grip. So my own experience with emergency mode is I had to really lean into this after my surgery that just happened about a month and a half ago. When it was coming up, I knew I was not going to be able to function for, I didn't even know how long it would last. I knew physically I wasn't going to be able to, and mentally I wasn't going to be able to. So I had to face the reality that my old routine was not going to be possible during this time. And that's when I went into emergency mode, right? My emergency mode changed my mindset. My mindset became simple. What can I do right now in 5 minutes that still moves the needle forward? And some days that just meant noodling on a single lick. Other days it was listening back to recordings or doing some work on the academy, doing some practice for a couple of minutes. But what it did for me was I discovered the 5-minute fix. I thought, how can I get ahead now quickly with something in a very short amount of time that will carry me through this downtime? So I asked the community, hey, what questions do you have for me I can use in this? And I, in 5 minutes, answered each one. So if I had a little bit of time here and there, I do a couple of them. A little bit of time here or there. It got me through. 2 of them released a week, got me through the whole recovery from I was gone. And a lot of you didn't know, right? It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. Even in the middle of those setbacks, those little emergency sessions kept me connected to the community. They kept connected to this business, connected to the guitar. They gave me small wins when I needed them the most. And then when I finally had the headspace to get back to work, to practice more again, I didn't feel like I was starting from scratch. I had already kept the momentum alive, but just in a different way. That's why I believe in emergency mode. It's very, very strong. It's not about being perfect. It's not about even traditional progress. It's about staying engaged when everything else is pulling you away. And sometimes all it takes is one little thing to pull you back in, right? One sound, one riff, one phrase that makes you feel like a guitar player again. That's why when we go into the next section today, I want to show you one simple blues lick. Actually, it's a whole 12-bar blues that can get you back in the game instantly. And before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, I don't take sponsors on the show. I am my own advertiser. That means everything you hear here is supported by the courses and the resources that I create for you. And the best starting point, Blues Solo Breakthrough. It's my free 6-part email course. It's designed to take the mystery out of soloing and help you start sounding like the player you've always wanted to be. Grab it free right now at playguitaracademy.com/Blues Solo Breakthrough.